We resume our discussion about the remarkable lessons of Rav Pam regarding character. Today's class, like always, is Lil Nishus Rachaleh Basu Chaim Tzvi Aleh Shalom. We thank all the people in Na'aleh staff, Mrs. Claver, Mrs. Bamser, and their team of wonderful people who bring all this wonderful Torah to you out there in Na'aleh land. A quick reminder, Rav Pam was the esteemed Rosh Yeshiva of Torah Vodaas. He passed away Chav Ches Menachem Av Tavshin Samach Aleph. That would be the summer of 2001. He was nicknamed the Chafetz Chaim of America, a name that was given to him because of his remarkable character, his kindness, his being so well versed in all of aspects of halacha. Everyone went to him for advice, and everybody felt the advice that he was giving them was something that was tailor-made for them. He never insisted upon his advice, but everyone understood this is the right path for me to follow. We're going to continue our lessons, and now it's something we've discussed before, but it's worth resuming, and that is his perspective on matters crucial to life. One of them was, as one of his grandsons related, and my source for this is the nice biography written by Rabbi Shimon Finkelman about Rav Pam. One grandson said that his grandfather, Rav Pam, was very particular never to say a kitrug, something which would be condemning toward the Jewish people. And if ever he would hear someone say something which was critical of the Jewish people, he was quick to come to the defense and find something meritorious to say about the Jewish people. He always came to the defense of Klal Yisrael. One of his sons related about his father that he would never speak about the good old days, how things used to be. He felt if he'd speak to American kids about how great things were in Europe, the days when everybody was steeped in Yiras Shamayim, fear of heaven, involved in learning, then it would be somewhat, first of all, of an indictment on the Jewish people in America, but also it would give them hopes that they could never fulfill. And this is reminiscent to me that Rav Aaron Kotler, the great gadol of American Jewry, when he came to America and he'd come from such a rich history of being the Rosh Yeshiva in Kletsk and Slutsk and the primary disciple in Slobodka, and when he came to America to begin the Lakewood Yeshiva, he never ever once related about the times in Europe. Because now is a new time. There was nothing to be gained by talking about how things were in the past. We have to build the present in order to build the future. He felt, Rav Pam, that if you speak about the comparisons to the old, this could give people a sense that they are discouraged because they'll never achieve the achievements of those from before them. But what he would do instead is he would speak to his children or to anyone about the great contemporary leaders of today. One of his favorites was Rav Shishkal. He'd speak about people, that was Rav Moshe's son-in-law, who passed away at quite a young age. He would speak about people today who are very meritorious and commendable. Let those be the examples, not think about it at a time and in a place which is so far removed from us. To show right here on the shores of America, all the greatness can be re-achieved. Furthermore, the idea of having a kitrug is similar to the idea of speaking bad about someone, a concept we're all familiar with of al tiftach pe l'satan. That is something which is condemning, which is critical. You don't want to invoke any hardship on yourself. You never want to say, if I'd be sick, I would do. You don't want to say something which could invoke any divine scrutiny of yourself. Okay. We all are familiar with the rabbinic expression, you shouldn't let a blessing of anyone be considered insignificant in your eyes. Don't let a blessing of even a simple person be considered insignificant, for one never knows the power of a blessing. Rav Pam would add, and he could add it for saturate his blessings, because he was not only not a simple person, he was a great gadol, he was also a kohen. But he would like to say in the following nusach, this was his formula, Ohev kal beinach. Don't let the blessing of one who loves you, who cares about you, be light in your eyes. Now I tie this together with one other thing which he would say, is he would contend that, let's just get down to, he advised, even if someone is experiencing great financial success, they should not flaunt their wealth. Don't be in any which way ostentatious with your wealth, because first of all, the wheel can turn. And situations can reverse themselves. It's better for a person, no matter what their station in life, to live in an average lifestyle. I've actually seen this. The place which comes to mind is Manchester. There it's most remarkable. I've been pretty much all over the world. And usually the way it works is people are very affluent, live in affluent neighborhoods with very beautiful homes. People that are of more meager means live in more humble apartments. Whereas I've seen in Manchester, where every house is cookie cutter, the same, there's no way to tell. One can have one person who's extremely wealthy living adjacent to a person who's extremely poor. And from the outside, at least, both homes look exactly identical. And this is Rapam's advice. The wheel turns. Why invoke anything upon yourself which is unnecessary? Even if you have a lot of money and you've been blessed, don't flaunt it. Don't wear expensive clothing because it could harm yourself. You could invoke scrutiny upon yourself. Furthermore, if you live in a way which is somewhat ostentatious, you make a wedding which is extremely gaudy, then what you're causing is other people trying to mimic what you've done, and other people cannot afford it will then be forced to borrow money. And if they borrow, they can't repay, then you'll make them come to stealing. It's not necessary to do this and make other people pay an expense which they cannot live up to. So the 2 points I wanted to mention was, one was his blessing that I'm a person who cares for you, don't take it lightly, and also his advice